country recorded 172 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours and 6 deaths, bringing the total number of confirmed cases since the first case in Jamaica to 46,039 and the death toll to 790. A man who was abducted on Thursday and his car stolen was yesterday rescued from a 55-feet pit in the community of Jones Avenue in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. A Westmoreland fisherman died from injuries he received after he was attacked and bitten by a shark while spearfishing off the coast of Little London in the parish on Saturday afternoon. And the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information has announced new dates for the 2021 Primary Exit Profile (PEP) examinations. Good evening. The country recorded 172 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours and 6 deaths, bringing the total number of confirmed cases since the first case in Jamaica to 46,039 and the death toll to 790. There are currently 23,420 active cases. The deaths are of an 81-year-old man from Trelawney, a 54-year-old woman from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 71-year-old man from St. Mary, an 83-year-old man also from St. Mary, a 60-year-old woman from St. Anne, and a 68-year-old man from St. Catherine. Meanwhile, of the new cases, 99 are females and 73 are males with ages ranging from 85 days to 94 years old. The new cases were recorded in Clarendon with 10, Hanover 2, Kingston and St. Andrew 30, Manchester 18, Portland 6, St. Anne 14, St. Catherine 27, St. Elizabeth 6, St. James 13, St. Mary 5, St. Thomas 29, Trelawney 3, and Westmoreland 9. At the same time, there were 194 recoveries for a total of 21,487. Investigators in Westmoreland have commenced a probe to determine if a boat which capsized in the vicinity of Rick's Cafe in Negril, Westmoreland on Saturday afternoon was in breach of the Disaster Risk Management Act. Reports are that more than 15 persons were on board the alleged party boat when it capsized. The vessel set sail on Saturday afternoon and docked in the vicinity of Rick's Cafe, where a party was allegedly taking place on board. The vessel developed mechanical problems and immediately started to sink, resulting in a number of local and foreign visitors on board jumping in the water. The patrons were rescued by people on board 2 other boats, which were also at the location. Superintendent in charge of the parish of Westmoreland said the Negril Police and Marine Police have both launched an investigation into the incident, and based on the findings, several persons could be prosecuted. A man who was abducted on Thursday and his car stolen was yesterday rescued from a 55-feet pit in the community of Jones Avenue in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. It is reported that he was held up by gunmen who stole his motor car and took him to the community and threw him into the pit. According to a police source, cops were alerted to the area, and on their approach, a man who was seen guarding the pit ran and escaped into the community. Acting Senior Superintendent of the St. Catherine Fire Department, Dennis Lyons, said that the department received a call about the incident around 7:15 a.m. He said 17 firefighters and other emergency personnel were deployed to the scene to conduct an extraction operation. SSP Lyons disclosed that one firefighter was lowered into the pit and tied the rope around the gentleman, and in a very delicate process were able to remove him from the pit. The man was transported to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he is under observation. A Westmoreland fisherman died from injuries he received after he was attacked and bitten by a shark while spearfishing off the coast of Little London in the parish on Saturday afternoon. The deceased has been identified as 53-year-old Donovan Haywood, otherwise called Doggy, of a Darling Street address, also in Savannah-Lamar, Westmoreland. Reports are that at about 1:15 p.m., Haywood and other fishermen were spearfishing at sea when he was attacked by a large shark which ripped off his left arm and inflicted several bite wounds to his upper body. Haywood had to be rescued from the jaws of the shark by his friends, who immediately brought him back to Little Bay along the shores of Little London. He was then rushed to the Savannah-Lamar Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The other fishermen told Mello News that Haywood has been a fisherman for over 35 years and that over the years they have been doing spearfishing. They noted that this is the first tragedy that has taken place involving a member of their team. The St. Anne police is reporting that the fifth suspect who was being sought for allegedly sexually molesting a 13-year-old girl at a location in the parish last Monday is now in police custody. The police say 4 other suspects were rounded up on the weekend and placed in lockup, while the fifth man turned himself over to the police on Sunday morning. Reports by the police are that last Monday morning, the child was sent to her grandmother's house to stay until her mother returned from work. But upon arriving at her grandmother's house, she discovered that the elderly woman was not at home, so she decided to go to a nearby shop to purchase something to eat. She was walking along a footpath when she was approached by one of the suspects who was known to her and who allegedly forced her into an unfinished house, removed her clothing, and allegedly sexually molested her. He then called his 4 other accomplices, and they also took turns in sexually molesting the girl, who later reported the matter to a family member, and a report was subsequently made to the police. The St. James police have arrested and charged 28-year-old Devon Cooper, a mechanic of Perry Street, Montego Bay, following an incident that occurred in his community on Saturday. Reports from the Montego Bay Criminal Investigation Branch are that at about 2 p.m., Cooper and the complainant got into an argument during which Cooper inflicted several wounds to the complainant while threatening to kill her. He then pointed a firearm at her. However, she managed to escape and reported the incident to the police, who commenced investigations. A search of Cooper's premises was conducted and one Springfield 9mm pistol containing a magazine with 14 9mm rounds of ammunition was seized. Cooper was subsequently arrested and charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition, assault at common law, and assault occasioning actual bodily harm. However, his court date is not yet finalized. Detectives assigned to the Narcotics Division seized approximately 345 pounds of compressed ganja at Ivor Cottage Mountainside Black River in St. Elizabeth on Friday. 2 men were arrested and charged in relation to the seizure. Reports are that about 6 a.m. during a police operation, one white Nissan and wagon was signaled to stop. During a search, a quantity of black plastic parcels containing vegetable matter resembling ganja was seen inside the car. The drugs have an estimated street value of $1,380,000. Investigations are ongoing. In other news, a 23-year-old man and a 37-year-old farmer have been taken into custody in connection with the shooting and wounding of a police officer in Thompsontown, Trelawney on Saturday night. The 33-year-old police constable, who is attached to the Four Paths police station in Clarendon, has since been admitted to hospital in serious condition. Reports by the police are that about 9 p.m., the police officer, who was visiting relatives in Thompsontown attempted to quell a domestic dispute between his relatives and two other men from the community when he was shot. The police were summoned, and upon arrival, the wounded cop was rushed to hospital where he was treated and admitted in serious condition. Investigators then carried out an operation in the area, which led to both men being taken into custody. Commanding officer in charge of Trelawney, Superintendent Carlos Russell, told Mello News that none of the men have yet been charged, but they are presently being questioned. And those are some of the stories making news. We will return with other stories, with the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information announcing new dates for the 2021 Primary Exit Profile PEP examinations, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade commencing operations from its new headquarters at 2 Port Royal Street, downtown Kingston tomorrow. But first, let's take a break and then join Christopher Scott with sports.